Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Melissa Lozoya. I'm the Acting Director for the Department of Municipal Development. It's wonderful to see this project come to fruition and all the collaborative effort that came and brought us together to this day. We've worked with many departments and organizations and representatives on this project. I want to say a very big thank you to my team. The project manager for this project is Mr. Keith Reed. Stephen James, who's also with the Department of Municipal Development, is the construction manager for this project. This project is one of the latest in a number of highly successful projects that have been completed under the Berry administration. Such projects as Lead and Coal, the Convention Center renovation, and the Unser and Central Library, just to name a few. This project has been a long vision of Mayor Berry. It was actually one of the projects he identified in the ABQ, the plan. With that said, I would like to welcome to the podium someone who, without his leadership, would not have made this project come to life. He was recently recognized as one of the most inspirational people in America by the Washington Post. Please help me welcome Mayor Richard J. Berry.
Good day for Albuquerque. It's a good day for partnerships, and it's a good day for planning ahead and thinking about what our city can be and should be and what our kids deserve from a facility standpoint. You know, we have a world-class city. I mean, just look out behind you and look at the beautiful place that we live in. And we have a place that's beautiful on one hand, but it's also full of beautiful folks. And if we're going to be a world-class city, we need world-class facilities, and that's what this is all about. We're going to talk today about some of the things that this particular baseball complex will bring to the city of Albuquerque. But I think the underlying message is that there's people behind me from an elected standpoint with Councilor Lewis, Councilor Sanchez. Clarissa Pena couldn't make it, her staff is here. You've got dedicated city employees standing here, folks that will make sure that this complex gets built on behalf of the city. And it took everybody working together. And thinking back from a historical standpoint, it's also a partnership with APS. When APS decided to build Community Stadium, the city councilors, the administration decided, well, let's get together and buy some adjacent land. So we bought this 80+ acres that you see here today with the idea that we could add value. So instead of trying to do everything by ourselves, we decided that partnerships were the most important thing. Now we've got a world-class football stadium, we've got a track, now we're going to have a world-class baseball complex. And when you think about what that does for our community and for our youth in our community, I think the upside is tremendous. A lot of people to thank for this, but this particular complex, it's about an $18 million facility, $17.8 million. Bradbury Stam is our local contractor, as you see from the truck behind us. This is going to create local jobs for people. It will be a total of 5 baseball fields, as you can see from the rendering. I know Councilor Lewis and Councilor Sanchez will give you some more details as well. Entirely synthetic turf fields. When we decided to put this together, we wanted it to be a best in class, and it will be best in class for our community. A high school level field lighting, scoreboards, dugouts, bullpens, bleachers, seating with shade canopies. There'll be an administration concession building as well, along with batting cages. And I know we've got folks here from Visit Albuquerque. I see Angie's here as well. And Tanya is up here, I think. Tanya Armenta is here with us. We are going to host, we won the ability to host the 2019 National Senior Games in the city of Albuquerque. And when we went to Birmingham to pitch this particular project to the senior games, this facility was key and integral in us being able to do that. And that speaks to sports tourism, which I know these two councilors behind me understand. All of our city council, I think, understands that sports tourism is an opportunity that we've missed in Albuquerque over the years. Well, we're not going to miss it anymore. We're going to build these world-class facilities, and not only will our youth be able to play on these world-class facilities, but people will actually travel from all over the country to come and play baseball at this facility. So a lot of good things to talk about. Want to thank the taxpayers of Albuquerque, certainly, because this is their investment. This is your dollars being put to work in your community to do good things. I want to say some thank yous to Melissa Lazoya, our Director of DMD, our entire team that will be building this from the Department of Municipal Development. Certainly want to thank Councilor Sanchez. We are in his district, so this is his complex in the district. Great addition to District 1. Councilor Dan Lewis, we wouldn't be here without Councilor Lewis. His push and his fight to make sure that this baseball complex got built is integral to the process. Of course, Clarissa Pena from District 3 as well. I know that Jerry Worrell's not here, but I think Donna Swanson is going to say a few words. Thank you so much from Trace Volcanis Neighborhood Association, ABQ Baseball Academy. I think Mike Foot's here, Ryan Brewer is here. We've got a great baseball culture in the city of Albuquerque. We've got one of the best college baseball coaches in Ray Birmingham in the United States. We've got little leagues. We've got world-class baseball here. So this is good news as well. From the United States Specialty Sports Association, Dana Gilmer is here, and then Joe Lovato from West Mesa Little League. So once again, I'll turn it back over to Melissa to let some of our councilors speak, but I'm just really proud of our collaborative efforts to get things done in the city of Albuquerque. We're going to have $300 million worth of projects that we either kick off or complete this year, and we wouldn't be able to do it if we weren't teaming together, working together, and bringing things to the forefront for the citizens of Albuquerque. So proud to be a mayor of a great town. You should be proud of your city council. They're doing great work for you. You should also be proud of your 6,000 city employees and their leadership team that are doing good things as well. So thanks for letting me be here today. Look forward to breaking ground.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a few people here today that would like to share some words with you. First of all, I'd like to introduce Councilor Sanchez. Councilor?
Thank you, Melissa. What a great day for our city. Today, Albuquerque did not just hit a home run. Today, we have hit a grand slam. This is going to be a great addition to our city. And I've always said, build it and they will come. And this will be a great baseball facility for our community. Last week, we had a dedication for a new it'll be a middle school and a elementary school just right across the street. That's going to be a $15 million project. This will be, as Mayor Berry said, an $18 million project. You know, we need economic development in our community, and I'm so pleased that we have Bradbury and Stam doing both projects. They are a local company that have been in Albuquerque for over 90 years, and they will contract Albuquerque employees and people going back to work, which I think is so important to our community. They're also doing the controversial ART project, but that's also going very well. But again, we've got some major challenges that we face in our community, and one of the things that we have strived for many, many years is sports events and sports activities in our community for our youth. I've got a granddaughter that plays college basketball back at Fairleigh Dickinson University. I know Dan's son is going to be going to the University of New Mexico and will be playing college baseball for the Lobos. And we've traveled all over the country with my granddaughter, with his son, basically going to different club venues. And the nice thing about this facility here, we will attract economic development to our community, where we will bring people from across the country to participate in competitive sports in Albuquerque. But I've said, and I told Mayor Berry and I told Councilor Lewis, one of the most important things that we've got to remember, that this sports complex is for our children and for our community. I know that for years we had people coming to city council meetings and saying, we don't have enough baseball fields in our community. I grew up near the Pat Hurley area, and I live right down the street now, so I'll be able to walk down and see baseball, and I can come down and watch football games, which I've done. But we've lost Pat Hurley Baseball Park, so there is a need for sports and for baseball here in our community. So I know the baseball community will be very excited about that, but we've got to make sure that we don't just bring people from out of state, but our local kids and our local talent has the opportunity to use these facilities. Like I said, this will be the Field of Dreams for our city of Albuquerque, and it's going to be a great venue. I also want to thank Mario Martinez, who has been involved with the West Mesa Little League for many, many years. We approached Mario a few years ago telling him what the plans were for this stadium, and this will be phase 1. There will also be a phase 2, which will come later. We don't have the resources or the dollars for that now, but hopefully that'll include a big indoor venue where kids can come and play basketball, girls can come in and play, and guys can come in and play volleyball, and also bigger soccer fields for this community. I know a lot of us have to travel to Bernalillo to watch games, but hopefully in the future we can come right down to this area and also see soccer. But this is just the beginning of some great vision for our community. And I want to personally thank Mayor Berry, because when this idea came up, we were all on board immediately. And I know the voters at that time were a little bit adamant about this, but we've got to reinvest back into our community and invest back into jobs, and that's what we are doing here in our community. Again, thank you, Mayor Berry. Thank you, Dan Lewis, and especially thanks to our staff. They do a great job each and every day, and we are looking forward to the senior games. I now can participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Sanchez. As you can tell, and as Mayor Berry stated, we have a lot of advocates here for this baseball complex as well as the Westside. Next, I'd like to introduce Councilor Lewis.
Well, thank you all. This is a great day. 60 degrees in January in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Pretty amazing. There's great baseball weather right now, and just gets better and better. We just very thankful for all the support for this project. And also, it's a real privilege, over the years to break ground on many projects with the people that are behind me here. It's been a real privilege to work together with Mayor Berry and Ken Sanchez, Carissa Pena, the councilors that represent the Westside. And we really have a lot of great projects that we've celebrated over the last few years. And this is one more that's just quite a treasure that we're going to have here on the Westside. So very excited about this. I want to mention a few people that were a part of just sharing their expertise. We put together a planning committee for this project, a task force, so to speak, a couple of years ago. And we began just talking about this facility and what it could look like and what it could do. We wanted to make sure that it functioned in a way that we could get just the biggest bang for the buck, that our kids here in Albuquerque would be able to utilize it in a way that would give them the most exposure. One of the challenges that we have in New Mexico is that we have some incredibly talented kids, some great athletes, but they don't have the exposure like maybe kids from Arizona might have, or kids from Texas. And so we have great organizations like Albuquerque Baseball Academy and that have the plan and the vision to be able to take kids to the places that are going to give them the kind of exposure from colleges and scouts, and so that they can have some better opportunities. And so we're grateful for organizations like that, and then also now grateful for the opportunity to be able to bring those people here so that we can showcase our kids in a way that just shows off their talents and the gifts that kids have here in the state of New Mexico. So this is one of the ways that we're going to be able to do that. At the same time, we benefit from people coming into Albuquerque and invest in their tax or their dollars when they spend, and they spend the nights in hotels and they go to our restaurants. And now they're going to come to Albuquerque to be able to, to be able to play baseball and to showcase their talents. And we're going to bring a lot of people here to the state because of this facility. And so we're very excited about that. But there's some people that helped us to be able to do that and to ensure that this is a facility that people would actually use. I mean, we wanted to make sure it was a facility that we'd be proud of, but also just functionally, worked in such a way. For example, I mean, how many of you know what the dimensions of a baseball field should be, or even what the left field line should be if we're going to attract the most amount of opportunities and people to come here? I mean, it's just not something that we all would know, but we got some expertise that helped us with all those details and be able to put in that planning. So I wanted to mention some of the people on that committee, and the mayor mentioned a few of these people, but Dana Gilmer with USSSA was a part of that. Mike Foote with ABA, Albuquerque Baseball Academy, as well as Ryan Brewer with ABA. Coach Ray Birmingham played a big role in giving us insight and his professional wisdom and ideas on how to make this these fields great. Bob Cleavall with the Bernalillo County Parks and Rec. Also John Traub with the Isotopes, who's also here. Let's give John a hand. John and his team lended their expertise. I mean, talk about people that know baseball, obviously, and know how to build a premier facility and how to use it. And so we got a lot of their advice in developing this park. And then also I want to mention Chris Green from Consensus Planning, who was instrumental in just from the beginning drafting and helping us to be able to ensure that we built the right facilities here. So appreciate him, and also Mike Reardon and his staff. Mike's been instrumental in helping us, just guiding the process to get this thing built. I want to mention just quickly about the funding for this facility. About $18 million to build this facility. The city council about 4 years ago the city purchased this property, about 81 acres. This first phase will go on about half of that. And I think it's a reflection of our city, of course our mayor and our council being very disciplined on the dollars that we have, the operational dollars, and ensuring that we have capital dollars that are dedicated to projects like this. And so from that first $13 million that we were able to secure a couple years ago to the council coming along, and of course the mayor's recommendation, and then the council come along and funding the rest of it, it's been quite a process. And that also came from a good amount of people in our community and different organizations that made sure that their voices were heard, and that people saw the need, that we saw the need for this. And so it's been overwhelming support. Very grateful for all of your support. This field is really for the kids that live all around this city. They're going to have just a premier place to play baseball and softball, and it's really going to be a fantastic place. So thank you again. I want to also just thank again our staff, Parks and Rec and the DMD, and the mayor and his office, and all the work that they've done. Of course, Councilor Sanchez, Councilor Pena, and the work that they've been able to do for the Westside, and what we've been able to do together has been pretty amazing. So we appreciate all the support from them and all of your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Lewis. As you can see, we have a very strong support system in our elected officials, Mayor Berry, Councilor Sanchez, Councilor Lewis, and Councilor Pena. With that, we also, as Councilor Lewis pointed out, we have strong support from our community as well as our business organizations. I would like to take this moment to introduce Donna Swanson from the Tres Volcanes Neighborhood Association, if she wouldn't mind coming up and saying a few words.
Good morning. Last week I was dressed in 5 layers. I can speak to you from my new position as the president of the TVNA. I can also speak to you as a native New Mexican, native Albuquerquean. I could speak to you as a former retired educator, as a mother of kids who played baseball, soccer, basketball, everything you can think of. My 3 thoughts today are the commitment to infrastructure as the city's moving west, and the commitment to our kids, and the commitment to quality of life out here on the west side. Those are the 3 things that I'm concerned about as the new president, and this addresses almost all of them. Wilson Stadium was the last thing built when I left high school, so geez. So I'm very, very happy to see the investment in our kids and to show them how important they are to us, that this matters. I've driven countless times out to Santa Ana Pueblo for soccer games, sent my child to Austin for a special soccer tournament that highlighted his skills. He received a full scholarship. But wouldn't it be nice, as people have said here, that this could happen here in Albuquerque and give that opportunity to more kids whose parents might not have the ability to do that for them. So I'm happy. I think it's a great thing, and just want our elected people to remember us on the west side. It's the fastest growing. We need the infrastructure. We need the quality of life issues, and we need our kids to know that we care about them as much as any other part of the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Swanson. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out today. This turnout shows what a support we have for this project. It's going to be an exciting project, and we look forward to it. With that being said, I'd like to welcome you to join us in breaking ground for the baseball complex.